Hello, Tech Sergeant Smith. I am glad we have a chance to meet.
Really? Good then. I am happy to meet you also. I hope you can assist me. My wife and I finally found a nice house and have a lease contract signed and ready for you to certify.
Very good. Can you tell me about the house? Do you know if the property has been inspected?
It is a very nice house. It will suit me very well. It is close to work and has a nice yard. It is just what I wanted for my family. We looked at a couple of dozen houses and frankly most of them are very small or somewhat dated. I thought in most cases I felt I was going back in time. It was like I was in a set of a 1960 Fellini movie. The good news is that the home we found is within my overseas housing allowance rental ceiling.
But do you know if the house was inspected by my inspectors? I can't approve your contract until we have inspected the house and determined what the proper rent is for the property.
Okay. How would I know if you inspected the house? It's been rented to Air Force people before, so it should be fine. What do I need to do to inspect the house?
My office will make arrangements and send out an inspector to determine if the amount for the rent is correct.
I am sorry. I don't really understand. I've already discussed the rent with the landlord and we have agreed to the rent for the house for €1,350. You keep on saying the word inspect. I don't think that word means what you think it means.
I assure you that we are inspecting. Because that is what our regulations say we are supposed to do.
I understand that you are supposed to inspect. For God's sakes. But this is not what you are describing to me. You are telling me that you are going to determine the rent. Inspecting is the making sure that house is safe, is in good conditions and meets standards. What you're telling me is that your inspectors are better qualified to determine the rental value of a house for my family than I am. I think what you are describing is normally referred to as appraising. There's a friggin' difference.
My inspectors inspect. They measure the square meters in the house, then determine what percentage to credit for each room. After we determine how much credit we want to give for a space, then we determine how much value to attach to it. We have a book that provides some data ranges for apartments in most of the villages. So we make a determination as to where in the range the apartment falls.
It is very interesting that you are measuring, crediting and determining the rent. It still sounds like appraising to me. Why don't you just call it appraising? Wouldn't that just be a lot clearer? I am sure that you've purchased a house yourself and know the distinction between inspecting and appraising, and yet you purposefully call your appraising an inspection. I have done my own appraisal of the house and it is suitable for me for the rental price that is agreed to by me and the landlord.
Sergeant Smith, there's nothing in our A.F.I that really tells us to appraise. In fact, the AFI never uses any terms like it. And of course, there are no criterion that tells us to how we should appraise. So, of course we don't appraise. We inspect. We're not licensed or certified to appraisal rents, and we would be probably breaking the whole nation laws if we were appraising or representing ourselves as real estate agents. There are no appraisers in the housing office on inspectors. So we don't appraise. We inspect.
So, I see. You are doing something you are not supposed to do. While you are not doing something you are told you must do. I am relieved by the good news that you are not just making this stuff up.
There's no need for you to worry. The housing office is here to help.
That's what is starting to worry me. I am not sure that that word means what you think it means. To help means that you are assisting me. I don't think you are really helping me. I just waited 40 minutes in the waiting room. My sponsor has left me to go home. I have just relocated my family to a new country. I have been in the Right Start program for the last week. I don't have my car yet and my sponsor is driving me around. I have been back and forth to the housing office and looked at a couple of dozen houses. I am about to get kicked off temporary housing allowance. My family is going nuts in TLF.
There's no need for you to worry. The housing office is here to help.
I just want to get my family settled in and start my job. I'll probably deploy within the next 8 to 12 months. I found a nice place that is within my housing rental ceiling entitlement. I have seen enough places now to know that the rent is about right for what is currently available and desirable for me and my family. I have a signed contract with the landlord. Can you just inspect the place and certify my lease contract? Please.
There's no need for you to worry. The housing office is here to help. But we must adjudicate the parameters of your lease.
Okay. It seems that you're really night listing. Please inspect the house. Or what the hell you do. And please certify the lease. It's a contract and I'm legally obligated to it. I give up. I've tried to understand what you are saying, but can't. Please, do what you have to.